Hello everybody, my name is Keana, I'm from the United States. I'm the lead game writer for the Kalyskah RPG, and I write alongside Wade, our other writer, who is from the Philippines, as well as Adolfo, who isn't technically a writer, he's the game developer, the brains behind everything, but he does a lot of the writing as well. But on to the presentation. So what will we cover here? We want to talk about the main storyline, the side quest, extra content, as well as some sneak peeks of what is to come, which is kind of the whole point of this video. So on to the main storyline. The first thing we are going to be working on, or we have been working on, is the prologue. So what is the prologue about? Well, it takes place 10,000 years before the bulk of the game. It is Kalyskah's domain on her islands prior to the Great Fall, which is a cataclysmic event. You can figure out more about that in the game. But there will be several different locations that you could explore, like Kalyskah's Temple, the County of Lanigan, etc. There's going to be pirates. I'm excited for it. Now, why is the prologue important? Well, it introduces key characters for one. You've got Kalyskah, of course. And then you've also got her right-hand man, Lavere, as well as her oldest friend, arguably best friend, Amara. It also establishes Kalyskah as a character, not just as, not just as a stand-in for the player. We understand what her beliefs are, her philosophies, how she sees herself compared to humans, how she sees herself compared to other vampires, and we get a glimpse of Kalyskah's life before the main storyline. Was she a dictator? Was she worshipped as a god? Was she good to her people? Was she not? We will see. Plus, we get to experience that betrayal. If you've played the game, you might have heard about it, that forced Kalyskah into her deep slumber. I'm sorry, my camera is cutting off the slumber part. Ignore it, it says slumber. So, finishing Act 1. After we finish the prologue, we will be completing Act 1. What do we know about it so far? Well, in the game, we already see Kalyskah waking up from that slumber that I was just talking about, and she realizes that, oh, the source of her power is gone, which is her blood gem. And the reason she was asleep for so long was because her blood gem was gone. So now she's gonna go and look for it. We know that. This is what introduces her to the Seekers, and this is what introduces her to Millhaven. But what is to come out of Act 1? We see the return of Lavere. We will see the start of the Seekers questline. We will introduce Kalyskah to the Civil War, and Kalyskah might uncover some truths about what happened 10,000 years ago. Who really betrayed who? What actually happens? We will see. And it will also segue into the Vicious Seed, which, as we know, is the plague that has been infecting the land and turning people into husks. I clicked the wrong thing. Give me a sec. On to the side quests. Okay. So, we have many side quests. These are just a few of the big ones. We have A Lover Scorned, which is about Farah, the blacksmith, wanting to get revenge on an ex-lover. You'll be infiltrating a party, and there may be an assassination depending on which choices you make. Then we have Sisters in Arms, which is another Farah mission, but it really solidifies the friendship between Farah and Kalyskah, and it also is the first quest where Marauder Maynard, the leader of Millhaven, will kind of give to you as a way to earn his trust. And then we have Love Having Lost, which is a nice quest which introduces us to our bard, which means, ooh, what do we get? Songs. But that's for later. We'll talk about that later. Oh, the PowerPoint is getting messed up. I'm sorry. So, other quests we'll be doing are all over here. There's a lot more than what's listed. These are just a few of the ones we can share. Like, there's the deliveries for the merchants. Easy way to earn gold. Repairing the night dress. There's the missing husband quest. The missing bones and all that stuff. And, of course, the puppeteers if you're looking to have some fun. I know some of you are. But moving on to the extra content. So, I did mention songs. We have songs now. I will play like 10 seconds or so of some of the demos. This song is The Great Fall. It's about the Great Fall, which I mentioned earlier. Let's just play a little bit of that.
Storm, sweet mother,
pause. Okay. That's one, and here's another one. This one's written by Wade. These are also just demos.
Squeezing in through the cracks, so you wait until death attacks. So why are we running when you can be as cunning as you are? Am I ready?
Yeah, so those are some of the demos. They have yet to be recorded by the voice actors. Obviously, they will all sound much better with the actual music and our lovely voice actors singing, which, you know, a lot of them can sing very well. On the right here, we have some examples of a concept of like a letter that could be found in the game, as well as one of the books that will be found. This is a journal, and this is from the Missing Husband quest. But moving on, another thing we are going to be introducing, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for, is quest guides. There's going to be a step-by-step guide released with every new quest as well as for the old quests. They will include in-game screenshots. Here, there's no in-game screenshots yet, but there will be. Don't worry. I know I could say like, oh, go to this tree. Which tree? It'll show you. And we will also be color coordinating it just to kind of stay organized. Blue will be the locations, NPCs will be red, enemies orange, yada yada yada. So another thing we want to be adding is, or we will be adding, is negotiation and dynamic events. So there will be a negotiation system. If you find yourself in unsavory situations, maybe you're fighting bandits and you don't know how to get out of it, you're losing, you don't want to die, you can surrender. You can use Kalyskah's tendencies, her charisma, her wallet to get your way out of the situation, maybe lead it into a different situation, if you know what I mean. It's up to you. But we will also be having dynamic events, which are just small random events throughout the map. These are things that can help bring the world to life. There might be some loot and secrets around, so you want to explore. Now on to the sneak peeks. There are going to be a lot of new characters, of course. But these are just some of the big characters. Who will we meet? Well, we've got Natasha, the necromancer, who lives in the woods. Then we have Akraciel, the celestial, who may be the angel on your shoulder or the devil. We'll see how you play the game. You're going to meet an old friend. Spoilers, it's Slaver, but we already covered that. You'll meet the infamous head of the Seekers, Souls of the Past, different leaders around Millhaven, defeated ex-Seeker. I'm excited for him. And there's a lot of like new communities. There's going to be more than just one town. There will be little villages, little settlements, lots of new characters, nothing to get tired of. But now, Act 2. What is to come from Act 2? First, we have the Vicious Seed, which is the biggest conflict going on. Obviously, the entire place is in quarantine because of the Vicious Seed. Kalyskah cannot leave. She's still looking for her blood gems, but who knows, maybe some of her blood gems have gotten out of the quarantine. So, as Kalyskah, you will have to set out to cure this plague that has infected the land and uncover the truth of what happened. How did it even start? Moving on to the Seekers, though. The Seekers are also another faction who are trying to find the cure for the Vicious Seed, which is why they stole your blood gem in the first place. But you will discover that there's corruption within their ranks. And Kalyskah is a natural enemy to these Seekers. You know, they are these good guys who fight dark creatures. They protect people from dark magic. Kalyskah is a dark creature. But can she earn their trust? Or, if you choose not to, can she become their number one enemy? Finally, there is... I didn't mean to click that. There is a civil war brewing. Whose side will you choose? There are 3 sides. There's been hints to it so far in the game. They've talked about it. It's going to be a fun time. Fun little battle. But you will end up choosing who leads the people of Millhaven, which may or may not affect how your game goes. But yeah, Thank you for listening to my presentation. I wish I was more professional, but it was fun. I hope you guys got something out of that. Cool.